they're bearing the brunt of the consequences of climate change. What does the world need to do to be able to help with this?
Well, the world has to learn to walk and chew gum at the same time. It has to find low-carbon ways of powering the global economy. Much of the technology exists, but it's not properly implemented or used or invested in. But we also know that we have to adapt to the climate change that's already built into the system. Thirdly, you referred to loss and damage. There are countries, especially those that have contributed least to the climate crisis, who are absolutely in the firing line when it comes to dealing with its consequences. And they're going to need more and more support the longer we delay helping them. There are meetings happening this week in Washington of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. They need to double and double again their efforts, not just to provide more finance for countries in debt distress and countries suffering poverty, but those suffering from extreme global risks, Pakistan being a very good case in point. And they also need to find new ways of delivering aid, because the old model of just relying on central government doesn't work. We're going to have to find new ways of empowering communities. And for that, one organization certainly can't make all the difference. You're absolutely right to say this has got to be a team effort.
David, I almost hate to have to ask this question, but do you think that the lack of urgency from the rest of the world with regards to the flooding crisis in Pakistan might have to do with the fact that the people affected are rural Pakistanis who maybe the world is not even really seeing?
Well, I think that,
you know,
both rural and urban
lots of money, everything you want to do costs lots of money,
from multiple crises, but so is the wider world. We've got to be able to help Ukraine and make sure we don't forget about Pakistan in the process.
On another extreme weather event, maybe rural Pakistan might not recover. Is that too dire a thought?
There are too many Pakistanis who haven't recovered from the last crisis, last summer. Another crisis will mean more Pakistanis don't make it.
It's David Miliband, President and CEO of the International Rescue Committee. Thank you so much for joining us, David.
Thanks very much for the input.
Here and Now is a production of NPR and WBUR. I'm Deepa Fernandez in Alameda, California.
And I'm Scott Tong in Washington, D.C. This is Here and Now. The latest news is next.
Funding for Here and Now
Look at how green all the water is.
WBUR Boston and from Hint, maker of fruit-infused water with no sugar or diet sweeteners.
Yeah, it's kind of swampy a
Available
bit.
in more than 25
It's still water, but
flavors,
there's lots of
including
algae and
watermelon and
stuff in there.
pineapple. In stores or delivered from hintwater.com.
Well, it's
On
not
the next
poisoned.
a
It's very
cardiologist
salty.
who also became a caregiver for his father, who had Alzheimer's. There were tough decisions to be made after his father's memory started vanishing and he became irrational, argumentative, and sometimes violent. My guest will be Dr. Sandeep Jahar, author of the new memoir, My Father's Brain. Join us.
Do you see the white along the edges over there?
Conversation
Do you know what that white is?
7 this evening on KQED. Bit
You know,
of
the
a
white
traffic
bits right on the
conversation
shore,
ahead with
that's
Julie
salt.
Dippish as we talk about traffic in the
Because
East
the
Bay
salt
first.
water, the water evaporates and leaves the salt
Crash on
behind.
northbound 880 and Industrial is taking up the right lane. A really heavy backup to Alvarado Boulevard. San Jose trouble is northbound 101 after the 880 interchange. Solo vehicles into the bushes on the right-hand shoulder.
Yeah, this bridge
And
goes up a
dealing with
little
stall on
bit, but not like the
peninsula,
San Mateo, which
southbound
goes
101
way
before
up.
Millbrae Avenue. They're clearing that minivan out of the right lane. Julie Deppish for KQED.
Support for KQED's car donation program comes from local Kia dealers. Donating a car to KQED is easy. We can arrange to have it picked up running or not in most cases and invest the funds back into our news coverage. And you can learn more at kqed.org/cars. I'm Dave Freeman. Good afternoon. You're listening to member-supported KQED San Francisco and KQEI North Highlands, Sacramento. It is
All right, you ready to start going up?
Even when my
Here we go.
with everything else rising too, it just doesn't feel like I truly got a little bit of a raise.
Inflation eased
See, you
in
got
March
some sort
thanks
of
to
flats
food
right there where
and
you see lots of
prices, but
dirt.
in other areas,
And then it
prices
gets
are
deeper
soaring.
and deeper and gets out to the water.
This is All Things Considered from NPR News.
I'm Juana Summers.
And I'm Andrew Limbong. Juul is paying to settle another case. Lawsuits claim the company marketed e-cigarettes to young people.
Juul's lies led to a nationwide public health crisis. and put addictive products in the hands of minors.
Also, the U.S. government warns that a cocktail of street drugs made of fentanyl and xylazine is a deadly national threat.
It's been destructive in Philadelphia.
My city is devastated, and so are my friends. And we need resources streetside immediately.
First, the news.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Lakshmi Singh. Tennessee House Republicans who recently ousted 2 black lawmakers over their gun control protests are receiving more backlash, this time from Shelby County. That's where local officials voted to reinstate Representative Justin Pearson on an interim basis 2 days after Nashville City Council did the same for Justin Jones. In Pearson's remarks today, vindication.
We look forward to continuing to fight, continuing to advocate, justice rolled down like water.
Republicans accused Democrats Pearson Jones and their colleague Gloria Johnson of bringing disorder when they joined gun control protests at the State House last month, days after a school shooting left 6 dead in Nashville. Johnson, who is white, was spared expulsion by 1 vote. A filing in federal court reveals former President Donald Trump suing his former attorney and fixer Michael Cohen for $500 million for allegedly violating attorney-client privilege and spreading falsehoods. Cohen testified before the Manhattan grand jury that later indicted Trump on 34 felony counts connected to hush money payments. Trump pleaded not guilty. He's the first former U.S. president to be criminally charged. NPR will no longer post content across its more than 50 official Twitter accounts. NPR's Bobby Allen reports the decision follows Twitter owner Elon Musk falsely labeling the network's
Have you ever heard of a company called Facebook?
Affiliated media.
Yeah.
Musk labeling
their
NPR's
headquarters
Twitter
right
account
there.
with the same disclaimer given to propaganda outlets in China and Russia.
It used to be a
sent
company
NPR
called Sun
executives into crisis mode
Microsystems.
last week. NPR asked Musk to remove the label. Instead, he changed it from state-affiliated media to government-funded media, which is still misleading since only about 1% of NPR's budget comes from the federally funded Corporation for Public Broadcasting. NPR CEO John Lansing said the labeling saga shows Twitter is a risk to the network's credibility. And even if the label is now removed, NPR has lost faith in the decision-making process at Twitter. By going silent on Twitter, Lansing says NPR is protecting its reputation without, quote,